Happy Thursday, Mustangs.
And welcome back to this week's episode of Mustang News.
I'm Liv.
And I'm Olivia. And to start off today's episode, we have a segment about story games, teacher musicians, counting things in the school, Roundup, and football.
We also have some information about makeup, voter registration, Hispanic Heritage Month, Pledge of Allegiance, and orchestra.
This week, we asked some O. Henry students if they could change one thing about O. Henry, what would it be?
Let's see what they said.
What is one thing that you would change about the school?
Phones allowed.
I would let us have phones.
Phone policy.
Phone policy.
The cell phone policy, man.
Phone policy?
Same.
This is a phone policy.
Phone policy.
The amount of lunchtime we get.
Is the dress code?
Change the dress code. Dress code. Dress code.
Once
there was someone in a forest.
they
Were drowning fish because they had
Chipotle.
and the next day
He
went.
Two.
Bananas.
Because I
was hungry. The end.
Most y'all know this man as Mr. Sims, but to other people, he's an amazing musician who plays the steel guitar with a guy named Jesse Robb Jr. He lives in Houston, and so he travels a lot. Recently, they had a #1 hit on Texas radio. When did you start getting into music?
I started playing music when I was pretty young. I was about 12-ish years old when I first started to kind of learn guitar and learn about music. So around that time, probably early middle school, late elementary school.
Does playing music ever affect your teaching?
In a couple of ways, yeah. So as a musician, you're always kind of performing on stage, and you have to try to I guess make people interested in what you're doing. And it's kind of similar to teaching in that when you're in front of students, you have to try to kind of make them interested in what you're teaching them. So I think it does help to be able to be comfortable to be in front of people and just to be able to make things entertaining.
Why did you decide to start playing music?
I kind of grew up in a really musical family, so I have a lot of family members. My dad was a musician. I have uncles that played music and stuff. So I grew up in a very musical family, playing music, and I really don't remember much of a time that there wasn't music in my life. So that's kind of why I started playing, and I was good at it. So.
Next up is Mr. Meta. He is a verified Spotify creator with a bunch of amazing songs. He's been in the Austin music scene for over 20 years. Mr. Meta has a new recording on Spotify that came out in April of 2022. The song is called Lonely Cloud. When did you start getting into music?
Probably when I was in middle school, probably 8th grade was when I got my first guitar and I played in high school. But really, when I started, getting serious, probably really after college was when I really was playing in bands and things like that.
Why do you play music?
Because I love it. I mean, I love listening to music. I love playing. I love writing songs. I always have. So I don't know why. Just started listening to the Beatles as a kid. That was my sister used to play a bunch of records, and she got me hooked on a lot of the stuff she was listening to. So yeah, I guess that's why.
How often do you perform?
These days about monthly, once a month, not too much. I used to, like I said, after college, I used to play maybe 5 times a week for years. That's what I did for a living before I started teaching. But these days, just monthly.
Does playing music ever affect your teaching in a positive way?
I would say, yeah, for sure. It's something I really enjoy. It makes me happy, so I think it keeps me in a good mood. So, yeah, I think they, it's my hobby and things I like to do, and so I think it has a positive impact on my teaching.
Today we're going to see a high of 92 and a low of 65. Throughout the rest of the week, we're going to see those temperatures dip down to those upper 80s, maybe mid 80s, and those lows to those lower 60s, maybe upper 50s. If you're going to ACL this weekend, which I'm sure most of you are, you're going to expect a temperature in those mid to upper 80s, maybe reaching 90 as we continue throughout the week. And another hurricane may be forming in the Caribbean or Atlantic in the next couple of days, so we're going to watch out for that. And that's pretty much for all. I like weather, but before we go, we're going to shout out McCartney because he is cool.
Let's
Talk.
about
Round.
up.
Last week was Roundup, but let's talk about it. Roundup is held every year by the O. Henry PTA to fundraise. Some of the activities you can do are carnival games, food trucks, and back from a couple years ago, the dance. What are you excited about for Roundup?
I'm excited about the inflatable wrecking ball.
For all the fun activities we're gonna do.
See all the food trucks.
And I'm excited to see all my friends.
I'm excited to go with my friends and like hang out with everyone.
What are you excited about for Roundup?
For Roundup, I'm excited to see kids just running around being themselves. The last couple of years has been really difficult for everyone, and it's been really exciting to see people getting back to normal, and Roundup is a chance for folks to kind of get a chance to stretch out and feel regular again.
One thing I'm excited about for Roundup is dunking Mr. Borders.
And now let's talk to a PTA parent. What are we fundraising for Roundup?
We are fundraising for staff stipends for our teachers, developmental programming, some supplemental things for that, and also supplies for every student to help keep all of our students safe.
What are you excited to see from the students during Roundup?
Well, I am helping out with the raffle, so what I'm most excited to see is for people to participate in that, and also I know the dance is coming back this year for the first time in a few years, so I know hopefully all the students will show up for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I wonder who's going to be dunked on.
Let's find out. What booth are you going to be doing during Roundup?
This year I got lucky and I get to do the dunking booth. Yay.
And are you excited to get dunked?
I'm glad that I'm the second one to get in the dunking booth because at least I'm not the last one after everybody's been dunked. But yeah, I think it's pretty fun as long as the students don't cheat and run up and push the little red dot.
What are you excited about for Roundup?
I'm excited for the school dance.
I'm excited for the raffle.
I'm excited for the events, like the games. That's what I'm mostly excited for, and hanging out with friends.
I'm excited about the dance because we haven't had one for a while.
The one thing I'm most excited about Roundup is about all the performances like dance and band.
Speaking of dance, let's talk to the captain of the dance team here at O. Henry, Olivia. So, what's your name?
I'm Liv. I'm the Henry Dance Team captain.
And what is your dance team doing at Roundup to help give students some Mustang pride?
Well, we're performing a dance, and I'm really excited, and we've been working really hard.
Okay, thank you. Let's round this story up.
Hello, Mustangs. Today we're going to interview the football players. So what's your name?
Hunter.
Hunter, how do you feel about being on the football team so far?
I mean, it's fun.
How do you feel about scoring the last touchdown?
It was really fun.
Did you guys beat Lively?
Yes.
What was the score?
38-0.
Your name?
Austin. It's fun. I like to hit people.
How long have you been practicing in the morning?
Usually you practice like 2 hours and then you go to the showers.
How much games have you been in the past 5 weeks?
We won 2 games and lost 1 game.
What's your upcoming game?
I don't know. Small.
So what's your name?
Corbin. It's fun.
How much pressure have you guys been getting so far?
None. I don't really feel any pressure.
What's the hardest team you played?
Frisky.
Alex. Alex, how do you feel about your latest game so far?
Pretty good.
What was the score again?
38-0.
Davis.
So how was your game a couple of days ago?
It was pretty good. We did okay. We won 20-6.
So how do you feel about your team so far?
We're pretty good. I think we might win district.
Do you think you might go to the city?
I think we do. Yeah, we have a chance.
Goodbye, Mustangs. We'll see you next time.
With the 2022 election for Texas governor only a month away, it is important that we get as many people to register to vote as possible. Out of the 22 million Texans above the legal voting age, only 78% are currently registered. That's over 4 million eligible voters who are not registered. Texas is also one of the 11 states with no online voter registration. The only ways to register in Texas are in person or through mailing in a form. Some Texas voters have also reported that their information has been wiped from the system. So teachers, check if your registration was purged and make sure to register before October 11th.
So we have a brain lab in our counseling center. Brain lab is open to any student who needs a longer than a 7-minute break in a classroom after they do a check-in. You can stay there for up to 10 minutes and do some deregulation. It's a great place to hang out, use some squishy toys, take a chill, get regrouped and reframed, or even have a private conversation with another student, a mediation, or a counselor. We hope that you visit it if you need support.
You could try going to the brain room.
Let's go use the brain room. Oh my god, this is so cool.
Yes, I think the brain room is really effective. I've seen it work on a lot of kids when they come out of there feeling like they're in a better place. Some reasons that I would send a kid to the brain lab or brain room is if they were feeling really anxious or maybe panicky, if they were feeling really sad and wanted to be alone and have time to think in a quiet space and get away from the chaos of middle school.
Okay, now everyone stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm not going to stand because it violates my First Amendment of the right of protecting speech. You're just being lazy. You don't even have a reason not to stand. Actually, I do have a reason. First of all, as I said, I have my right to speech, which means I don't have to say it if I don't want to say it. And also, the line, liberty and justice for all, hello, the pledge was written in 1892 when there was definitely not liberty and justice for all, especially considering Texas was one of the last states to abolish slavery. You have some valid points, but it's required by the district. Actually, wrong again, because in 1943, in the Supreme Court case of West Virginia State Board of Education versus Burnett, the court ruled that students couldn't be forced to salute to the U.S. flag or say the pledge because doing so violates their First Amendment right. Know your rights!
Today in Mustang News, we're going to be counting every tile in the school. They said it couldn't be done, yet we're doing it.
To start with all the counting of the tiles in the school, we need to start with the main hallway. At first we just counted the number of tiles in the main hallway, then we had a big brain idea. We needed to use arrays. With arrays, it made it a lot easier to count the tiles in the school from an estimated time of completion from like around 5 or 6 hours, just 37 minutes. Yes, we did count the time as well. In the end, we got 124,073 tiles in the school, excluding the office and the bathrooms, because, you know, it'd be kind of weird to sit in the bathroom. Also, please subscribe to Mustang News.
Well, that's it for today. Make it a great day to be an O. Henry Mustang.